Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician channel, and today we're going to be going into a product from TopDon. So I've had a couple of their products in the past and been pleased with them. So we have a new product here from TopDon. I want to say within the last month or two was released. Sorry, I'm all stuffed up. I've been working outside all week and I can't breathe. So today we're going to be looking at TopDon's new battery charger. But it's not just a battery charger. It's a battery tester, a battery charger, and it incorporates a Bluetooth app that you run on your phone that allows you to run different tests. You have a charging test, a cranking test, a few different options there. But this battery tester and charger can do quite a bit. So I have the Optima Digital 400, and they're at the same price point. And they're both great chargers, but the TopDon actually has more features. You get access with this Bluetooth app. You get access to pre and post test results. You have access to go in and actually customize the charging table. You have access to a database of basically information that's been used. Anybody that's used the TopDon charger, it's gathering information. So if there's ever a problem, like let's say there's something irregular with your battery and it's not charging, if somebody else has had the same issue and they've figured out how to set it up to get that battery back to life, this database basically holds all that information and you're able to find that in that database and use it to possibly repair your battery. So this charger is going to allow you to, there's not many other chargers out there that really do anything like this. There are some that can repair some pretty beat up batteries, but this takes it like another step and allows you to really increase the possibilities of you being able to bring this battery back to life. So just a little bit of time with this and you could save yourself hundreds of dollars from buying another battery possibly. So there's a lot to this. We're gonna try and quickly go over it. I'm gonna throw it on here on my Camaro. So my Camaro, it's a weekend car that I drive only during the summers now. So it's now wintertime, so I want to get it put on the tester or the charger because it's been sitting for about 2 weeks and my Phytech does have a constant drain on the battery. So for wintertime, I want to do a charge on it now, disconnect everything, let the battery sit, and then roughly 2 weeks before summer comes back around, we'll put it back on there and get it ready to go. But I'll show you guys how this operates, and you don't have to use the Bluetooth app to use the charger. Now obviously you get a lot more features with it, but if you wanted to, you could quickly connect it and double tap and it'll go into a smart charge mode. But this thing works on 6 and 12 volt batteries, and it's going to operate anywhere from 1 amp to 6 amps. This is not a fast charger. If you're looking to increase the longevity of your battery's health and life, this is the type of charger that you're going to want to look at. Fast chargers, yes, they're great at getting you back on the road, but they're not good for your battery. It's not going to help increase the lifetime of your battery or anything like that. In fact, it's probably going to decrease it. But with a unit like this or the Optima 400, you have not just a smart charge, but you also have a repair charge, which is going to run it around 1 amp and do spikes to try and alleviate or remove some of the sulfates on the plates. So that's a cool feature. And then you also have the DIY mode or the custom mode, whatever you want to call it. You can basically go in and map out your entire charge. So you can set the duration of what amperage you want to charge the battery at. So you can set the amount and the time that it's going to charge a battery, and that can help alleviate some of its issues and bring it back to life. So there's a lot of customization to this that you won't find in other chargers, even around the same price point. So I think this is a great deal. It's very easy to use. We'll go ahead and get it hooked up. I'll show you how to run it. I have a Optima Red Top, so we'll be using it on that. And then after we get that charged up, we'll take a look at the pre and post results of the test. And then I'll take you into the website so you guys can just kind of see some of the information, just in case the way I'm explaining it doesn't really make sense. Maybe being able to read it and see images of it, you'll get a better understanding. But if there's any information that you guys would like to know, I'll do my best to answer it if you just drop a comment down below. Other than that, please make sure to hit that thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Let's go ahead and get this thing hooked up. By the way, before we get this hooked up, this is the main unit. You have your power cord over here, and then here you have your quick connect with your clamps, and then it does come with a couple ring terminals as well. So if there's a battery that you plan on, keeping on a trickle charge every month or so, you can bolt that up to your battery and just leave the connections on there and then just quickly use this. And I'll show that to you once we get over there, but let's go ahead and get this hooked up. So we have it connected to power. We don't have it connected to the battery yet. Once you look at the unit, you see it reads 0 volts. Here it's just flashing 12 volt supply. The Bluetooth is connected. It was as simple as just downloading the app, opening the app, and then as soon as it was open, here it'll say disconnected. You click on that and you connect it. It'll read out your charger and you click on it, and then now it states clamps not connected. So we know that's the first thing we need to do in order to start doing anything. But here you can see you have smart charging, quick charging, and testing options. So you have battery charging and starting analysis. So you can test the cranking, the charging test, and the battery test. So now we'll just go ahead and connect the clamps. And here it is reading 10 volts. So as you can tell, my Phytech EFI unit has drained the battery, sitting for 2 weeks. It's basically just memory to keep the tune and everything like that. Now that it's connected, we can go into the app and you can see it's connected, and you can go to smart charging or the 9-step smart charging with the quick charging. We'll just click smart charging. So we'll click battery type. This is a red top, so it is a AGM spiral. And then battery standard will be going in cold cranking amps. You can see all the different options there. Cold cranking amps or CCA. And the battery rating on the CCA is 720. So here we have set basically everything that we need to. We can click battery pre-testing. So battery level is 25% right now, and it is just going to work its way through. You can click between power and current, and here it's basically showing the voltage in blue, the current in green. Is charging at 1.5 amps. We will just let this charge through, and then we'll come back and we'll take a look at it. And here I'll show you the unit one more time. You can see it's at 10.6 volts, 1.6 amps, and 25% charge, and it's 12 volt normal charging. The other great thing about this is you can actually go in and set a time to charge. So if your electricity costs are cheaper at nighttime or a certain time of the day, you can go in and set this to charge your battery at that specified time. So maybe you're paying less for the electricity used to charge your battery if you wanted to go that route. Then here, before charging and after charging, obviously this is all before charging. The battery voltage was 10.18. Test value was 118 cold cranking amps. Battery life was 3%. So this battery's been charged probably 5 times. I've had it for probably 3 years, and it's been sitting for a long time, and now it's had a constant drain on it. So it's had a rough one. And then here you can save report or share report. So that's really cool as well. And then you can take an image, or you can take a picture of your battery. Just some really cool information here, and then we'll get into more after the test is done. So before the charge is done, I did want to quickly show you guys something else that was really cool. So not only do you not have to be around the charger to know what's going on, you can literally, as long as you're within Bluetooth range, so basically anywhere in my house I can keep an eye on what's going on with the battery. But right now we're just looking at the battery level. If we go over to charge, you'll see this is where the battery life is actually at, or the charge percentage at 25%. This is what it's doing. So the amperage that it's putting through and the voltage that it's at, and then you can see as the time progresses it's going to go up in amperage. This is basically the flow chart of how it's going to charge the battery, and this is where if you didn't just do a smart charge, you can go in and actually adjust these values to charge the battery how you want it to charge to possibly repair it. So once again, just another feature that was really cool, and I figured I'd mention real quickly. I'm sure we'll see some images of it when I pull it up online and show you guys here in a little bit, but overall, just a fantastic feature. I really believe this is far beyond any other charger / tester that I've used, especially in this price range. So here is a little overall view of what TopDon has on their website. So we're just going to quickly go over this to kind of give you guys some more information. If you guys would like, you can pause to read some more of the information. I'm just going to briefly go over it. But I will post up a picture here of my battery test results. So when using the TopDon TB6000Pro, you get a pre and post test. But unfortunately, when I was charging my battery, I was using an outlet, a GFCI outlet behind my toolbox that likes to trip because it is a faulty outlet. So I really don't ever use it for anything. But right now, my other outlet, everything's being used. So unfortunately, I don't feel like moving my toolbox to access it. So after about 3 hours of charging, the outlet tripped and it ended up resetting, and I had to come out and redo the battery test. But I do have an image that hopefully I've posted now that you see it got the battery charged, you know, up to about 80%, and then I made sure to take an image of that so you guys can see it. It revived the battery. When the outlet tripped, it actually said bad battery because it wasn't sure. I don't think it knew what was going on. So I just reset the test and it charged the battery the rest of the way, and it was perfectly fine. It was completely my fault, but hopefully you guys can see the image. You can see the cold cranking amps, the state of health and everything. So all of that's good, and it worked very nicely. I'm sure it would have been probably charged in about 4.5 hours if the outlet didn't have the issue that it had. But let's just quickly go over what we have here. You can see some of the, information and how it looks. So here it's basically just stating it's a 2-in-1 smart battery charger and tester, because before, just like myself, I've had a standalone battery charger and a standalone battery tester. I've had a few different battery chargers, but as far as the battery tester, this is the one that I've always used. This is the Solar BA9, and it's been really nice. They have other ones available now. This was really probably one of the best ones for the price back in the day. I've had this a little over 5 years probably, but it's nice. The Optima Digital 400 is the first one that I've ever owned that actually has a tester and a charger built into one. And a lot of times you won't get that. And now in today's market, like, they're becoming more advanced. So to see TopDon release one just like that, but with even more features, is really cool. The unit is actually built really solidly. It feels nice and solid. It's got some pretty decent weight. The cables are nice. The alligator clips are nice. They've done a good job on this. So here you can see it is smart charging with the pre and post. It'll state the power consumption that it took to charge the battery, the charging time that it took, the voltage at which the battery was at before and after, the cold cranking amps that the battery is supposed to have, what you had at the start, what you had at the end, the battery life, which it raised on this example. I know it's hard for you to see in your screen. It's not the best, highest quality video or highest quality image, but the battery life started at like 20-some% and ended at 60-some%. And then it tells you internal resistance as well, which on mine was extremely low. And then moving down, you have a DIY 9-step charging mode. Basically just simplifies everything. It's a beginner mode. It makes it as easy as possible for you to recover your battery. And then you also have expert mode, which allows you to set things such as the current, voltage, pulse current, duration, and generates waveforms showing the charging status. So it's actually really cool what this thing can do in order to help you revive a battery. Using the pulse width modulation, it breaks down the sulfates in older batteries and helps to restore them by relieving or removing some of the resistance that has built up on those plates. So that's basically all I was talking about here. And then here's what I was talking about earlier. They have a database basically
on automotive batteries. They are collecting from users in order to help your experience with the use of it, in order to revive batteries that have, issues that may not be normal. Be able to look at this and find the data in order to recover batteries that most chargers couldn't. Here's the timed automatic charging, so you can set it for a specific time. If you live in an area where, cost of electricity or whatnot is more expensive at a certain time of the day and cheaper at certain times of the day, you can set it to save yourself some money if you know it's going to take some time to charge that battery. Here it's basically just stating that it's basically good for all 6-volt lead acid batteries, lithium batteries, all the different types of batteries, and then the 6 charging modes for 12 volt and 6 amp. Charging mode, 12 volt and 3 amp for small batteries, 12 volt and 1 amp, which is like a trickle charge, which they call a repair, and then 6 volt and 3 amp normal charge. Here's just kind of an image. Obviously you've seen it, but these are a little bit higher quality images, so you can kind of see the quality of the actual unit itself. And then you can always go into the app and look. I basically just have 1 bar from charging 1 time that day, or 2 times, but it shows basically the consumption of power that you've used in order to charge your battery. It is safe, it's water and dirt resistant, and it also has multiple different protections from reverse polarity, prevents sparking, short circuits, overheating, and over voltages. So I mean, they've done a good job on this unit, and I'm very surprised with it. And it runs the $100 the same price as my Optima Digital 400. But this, I just feel like you get more information. Now, granted, it's not on the unit itself, but you do see some information there, and you can still charge a battery with just the unit, not using the app, but having that app to see what's actually going on, to see the test results, is actually a really cool feature. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's any information that I may have left out, please feel free to drop a comment down below, or if you guys have used this or just picked it up, let me know your guys' thoughts on it. And so far the app and the device have ran really well. I haven't had any issues with like connection or the app closing, or any issues with the app or anything like that. It's all worked very well with one another with the Bluetooth connection, so that's really cool. But other than that, if you guys haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I will have this product linked down in the description underneath the tools continued link if you guys are interested, and I will see you guys next time.